Hi guys, welcome to my niece TV Zealots. My name is Denise and my partner in crime is Mary. Mary, say hi.
Hi, so glad you guys are here with us checking out our review of Nappily Ever After. Subscribe to our channel, become part of the family, give this video a like. We each watch something different online. So Denise is going to tell us about Nappily Ever After.
Okay, so Nappily Ever After is starring Sanaa Lathan, Ricky Whittle, Liam Whitfield, Lyric Bent. And basically it kind of like catalogs the journey of Sanaa's character Violet. Now, Violet is kind of like a lot of Black girls where um, their parents wanted their hair straight or relaxed because, you know, this was the way that they did things. This was the way that they grew up. And I resonated with that aspect of it. Like my mom wasn't bougie like Pauletta's character. Her Pauletta and Richard was Violet's parents, and like they were at a company picnic, and Pauletta, her hair was all straight and she was sitting down, and Violet was standing at the pool with her hair pressed straight. And so, you know, they show her even pressing it. She's like, now, don't you, you know, it ain't no rain in the forecast. And like, I'm like, why, Jesus?
That's how it used to be.
I know, I know, but we jumped in the pool. Like, but again, I had a relaxer. So that's where we differed. So I could get my hair wet and then they would just, you know, just wash it and condition it and blow dry it out and straighten it back out and we'd be good. But anyway, so she's standing at the pool. She's like, you better not jump in that pool. So the little kids are taunting her, like, come on in the water. It feels so good. And she's like, no, I can't. And she's all traumatized and stuff. Finally, this little white boy is like, whatever, just come in the water. And he's like, I bet you I can hold my breath longer than you can. Like the competitor in her just surged, and she ran and jumped in that pool to her mama's screams. And when she came up, her hair was all, you know, froed out. And then all the kids started taunting her and teasing her and pointing at her and laughing at her. It was a traumatic experience. I was like, whew, I was triggered.
Wow.
Even though, like I said, I was relaxed when I was a kid. Like I got a relaxer very young. I want to say it was like 7 or 8. Well, I guess that's not that young. I've heard of younger,
just for me.
But
got that little just for me.
Yeah. And super at that. They put super on my head. Girl, we ain't gonna even talk about it. So she was so then it cuts to Violet as an adult, and she made an appointment. She comes into her to hang out with her friends. What were their names? Natasha and Wendy. So she's going out with her friends, and well, first of all, her mom comes over to press her hair, and so she's like, you know, everything has to be perfect, and she's planned her birthday party. Well, basically, her boyfriend is supposed to be planning her birthday party, but he's calling into her assistant to get all the info. So she's actually working behind his back to plan her own birthday party with her assistant. And so she's like, girl, okay, so her mom done pressed her hair out. It's looking beautiful. She's like, yes, it's straight, it's perfect. And so she goes back and lays in bed, full makeup. So she actually gets up early, does her makeup, and presses her hair so that she could wake up perfect to her man. And so we find out that the mom and dad are now separated because dad finally, he's like, nobody can make your mama happy now. This was back when she was younger. And so, we don't know. They don't say what he was mad at her about. But anyway, they're separated. So then when she wakes up with everything, so she, like I said, she goes out with her friends. But before, she makes sure they check the weather. They check, she's like, it's no rain in the forecast or whatever. So they sitting out, hanging out. And then, of course, she gets ready. She's like, is that a rain cloud? And they're like, no, we checked the weather. Like, she's high-key stressed this whole time she's out here. And so finally, she's about to leave and get in the car. And these kids are playing in the water. Girl, they turn the hose on her and wet up her hair, ma'am. She act like a gremlin. She was so upset about that water. Oh, anyway, it was high-key hilarious.
I'm shook.
Because I'm just like, girl, it is not that serious, but it was to her. Like, I'm like, just go wet your hair, put some gel on it, do something.
Top notch.
Anyway, so she's freaking out. And so she gets an appointment. Well, she was trying to get her mom to do it, but she couldn't get in hold with her mom. Anyway, she has to pay an extra $200 to the first person with the appointment. At first, she was like 50. She's like 75, 100, $200 to the next person that can get me in and get my hair straight. Because if her hair not straight, she not perfect.
Right.
Ridiculous. Anyway, so the little black girl in the shop, her dad, well, we don't know it's her dad yet, but we kind of, anyway, he's a natural hairstylist, and he's like trying to get his clientele to recognize that, it's beauty and natural hair or whatever. And so he's like flirting with this lady. He's like, you hot, you sexy. And he did her twist out and, trying to convince her that it's all good. So then, Violet kind of gets into a tiff with the little girl because she's like making comments. And she's like, you running around with your head looking like that, because, of course, it has to be relaxed. Mm-hmm. So anyway, she tells her to go get the conditioner. And so she puts it in her hair, and Violet's sitting there like, it's too hot. Take this, it's time to wash this out. She's like, you got to sit under that dryer. Girl, turns out this chick done put relaxer on her hair. So her hair is coming out in patches. So she has to go and get weave. And she got get a wig or whatever. And they styled it up, got it all done nice for her. She gets to the party, and her boyfriend is like, what do you get the perfect woman? He's like, so he gives her a collar, and she's like, what is this? Girl, he got her a puppy. Why was she thought he was going to propose to her. So he gets there. And so they get home because she's high-key pissed. And she's like, I thought you were going to give me a ring. He was like, marry you? Like, I don't even know you. You wake up. I've never seen you let your hair down. Like, he's basically saying, he's like, you're too perfect. And so she's like, okay, so you're never going to marry me. Goodbye. And she throws him out. Yes. Throws him out.
Okay.
Right. So then she, then it goes from the weave. So it went straight to weave. And then she goes and gets this blonde color. And she's like, let's go out, ladies. So they go out to kick it, her and her friends. And they was like, know about this blonde, honey. But she's trying to rock it. And so they was like, well, if you're going to have blonde hair, you got to look coochified, I guess. I don't know. But they put on this short, tight dress and these heels. Girl, she gets to the club, fall down. Anyway.
I love it.
I know, right? It was high-key hilarious. And so she, this white guy's like coming on to her. And she's like, okay. It was like, you know what? Have some fun. We going to go dance. So she leaves the club. Well, she has a lot of fun with him. So she leaves the club with him.
Uh-oh.
She trying to walk on the wild side, girl. It's too funny. She's like all drunk and stuff and trying to have a one night stand. And so like she's like pouring honey on him, like, yeah, I'm about to do this. We about to do this. And girl just like, it's a whole awkward fumble. And then it ends up with her like basically busting his nose with her head. Like it was just too much. So she leaves. And when she gets back to the house, oh wait, no. She's in the car with the driver or whatever, and she's telling him all about what happened. He was like, that's it? All he did was tell you he didn't want to marry you right now, and you acted crazy. She's like, you know what? You're right. Bring me to the hospital. Now he's a doctor. So she gets to the hospital or whatever, and then he's there flirting with a girl. And so she's like, okay, so you slept with her. And he didn't deny it. So she knew it was true, whatever, blah, blah, blah. She's like, okay, fine. You moved on quick. Bye. So she leaves. Wow. And so when she gets home, she's so pissed that she cuts off all her hair. Girl, a mess. And so she calls her mom over. And her mom, Pauletta falls out, girl.
Oh, you know.
She calls the dad because she's like, Mama passed out or whatever. He was like, yeah, she thinks you're a lesbian now because she got all her hair off. Girl, it's a mess. So then she kind of like, she done did the big chop, so she just needs to get it edged up. And her father, she's like, oh, look at me. And her dad gives her a pep talk. It's like, it's not about hair, you look good. All you got to do is clean up this haircut and you're all good. You're fine. What you really need to think about is what, the craziness that made you do this. You need to search yourself and see who you are, and it's not all about the foolishness that her mom taught her, like how to be perfect for a man and it's just a lot of things that we as women teach our daughters. Yep. That it's just, it's not right. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so she goes and gets it all cleaned and shaped up or whatever. And it actually looks cute. Okay. But she's so timid and like really self-conscious. So she has this scarf on her head and she's in the bathroom crying. So then she a lady comes in, she's like, can you come out the bathroom? I need to use it. And she's like, go to the men's washroom. And she's like, I really don't want to. So anyway, she comes out and she has this scarf on her head. And so she's like, you know what? Come to my group. And so she's like, okay, she comes to her group session. She thinks it's a regular group therapy. Girl, it's women cancer survivors in here. Oh. And she thought she had cancer. Oh. And so she gets up and tries to sneak out. And so she's like, they stop her. She's like, you know what? You don't have to sneak out or whatever. And she's like, I do. She's like, there was a misunderstanding. Like, she's like, I literally am a selfish person. Like, I literally got mad because my boyfriend didn't give me a ring and I cut off all my hair. Like, I did something stupid. You guys are amazing. And so the group leader, she's like, take off the scarf. Let me see it or whatever. And so she does. She takes it off. She's like, well, of course, if you walk around looking like that, she's like, you got to stand up, hold your chin up, like walk proud with it. You look good. And so she gives her this pep talk. She's like, you know what? You're right. Because like when she first cut her hair, like people was bumping into her, being rude, like she was being ignored. But it wasn't so much about how she looked, because the cuts, when I say her face, it forced you to look at her face and she's beautiful. Right. It was just, her confidence was all the way in the gutter. Mm. So when she stepped back out and held her head up, like all the guys was checking for her. Even women was, turning heads. She was just turning heads and people were like taking notice and paying attention to her. And so, yeah, like, girl. So then she kind of she goes shopping, and she sees the little girl from the shop girl in the store stealing. And so she stops her from stealing or whatever. And she's like, girl, come on. And she's like kind of like dragging her out to kind of like take her to her dad. But she didn't know that she had more stuff in her purse. She thought that she had just the dress in her bag.
Oh,
so it set off the alarms or whatever. They had to call her dad. And he's going off on her like, why would you do this? And she's like, I was trying to have something, you know, for my birthday or whatever, for mom's birthday or whatever. For her birthday from her mom.
Mm.
It was a pretty little dress. She wanted to be cute or whatever. And so, you know, Violet was trying to tell him, you know, be easy, like be gentle. And so he kind of like told her to mind her business.
Right.
You know. And so that was that. And so what she did was she ended up going back and getting the dress and then bringing it over to the little girl and kind of like she's like, try it on or whatever. She comes out and she's like, her confidence isn't, you know, where it needs to be. And she's trying to tell her she's pretty. She's like, what? Didn't you tell me my hair was nappy? Blah, 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 blah. She's like, don't let people bring you down, you know, just trying to tell her. She's like, you're beautiful. And your hair doesn't have to be, you know, straight. Like she's trying to share with her, like pass it on what she just now learning as an adult. And so her and the little girl become friends. And then the dad comes home and he's like, stay for dinner, you know, and they start getting close and stuff, and it's real cute. And so they start getting serious, and then so she brings him to the picnic or whatever, to her mom's 4th of July picnic. And the mom has this other, she's like, oh, this is the guy you went out on a date with that didn't have a car. And girl, I told she was bougie. So she was like just trying to tear him down. And Violet is kind of like, she like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, because yeah, she had this whole empowerment and awakening, but also like this been rooted in her since she was a child. So she kind of like, oh, you know, trying to make it sound good. He owns a salon. And he was like, no, shop is fine. I own a hair shop. That's fine. Like he all upset because she's trying to make it seem like it's like she's embarrassed by him or whatever. So he kind of like leaves her there. And she stays friends with the daughter. And girl, when she comes home, she kind of like, she tells her job, like she's an advertisement, she worked in beauty. And so she tells her boss that she wants to move over to something else, anything that doesn't have to do with beauty, because she's not feeling it right now. And so he tells her she could pitch the beer commercial, but then she gives a kick butt commercial. Like she has it all together, but then they go with the, you know, the sexy girls, blah, 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 blah. And so she quits her job and she comes home, she's let loose, she's like popping her booty and having a good time to music and trying to like, you know, lift her spirits and just let free. And her ex he just happens to come, you know, pick up his stuff. He's like, why haven't I ever seen you like this? Just cut loose and blah, 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 blah. And they get back together, you know, and cause she kind of like, he told her before, he was like, we can't even get in the shower and, you know, be spontaneous. So she's all spontaneous now because she ain't got to worry about her hair. She ain't got to worry about that. Anyway, they back together. And finally, he's like, he proposes to her. She thinks she's getting everything that she wanted. And like the night she's about to go meet his parents and have the engagement party, an announcement or whatever, he tells her, can you do something with your hair? Like maybe straighten it. And I just want things to be perfect. Then you complained that I was too perfect before. But anyway, she kind of like, she feels a way about it, but she wants to do it anyway because she reverts back to that, I need to please my man, blah, 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 blah. So she has her mom straighten her hair, and it looked cute. Don't get me wrong. It was kind of like, Toni Braxton, when she had her short do. And, but it still was like, it wasn't right. She didn't feel right about it. She was in these shoes, and she was back in that pretentious kind of like state, and she didn't feel good about it. So at the party, she's sitting there and everybody's waiting on her, and they all come in and they talk to her. She's like, you know what? My feet hurt. I'm not putting back on these shoes, but if I can't put on these shoes, I won't be perfect. I won't be perfect. And she's like, she tells her mom, she's like, you remember when I wanted to go swimming. I just wanted to be a little girl or whatever. And she's like, you know what? I'm going swimming. Girl, she goes and jumps in the pool. Like, she pulls everybody in the pool. Now, mind you, the other funny part about the dad that I forgot to mention was he quit his job to become a male model.
Wow.
Real talk. And he had a spread in like a Kmart ad, girl, in his underwear. And it was a mess, girl. He was getting all these young chicks trying to holler at him because they like the package. Yes.
Zaddy, yes.
Anyway, girl, and she was so embarrassed. She said, he got to embarrass me. But anyway, they all jump in the pool, and he pulls the wife in the pool, and like she kind of lets loose, like everybody gets in the pool and get their hair wet. It's just like, girl, I ain't jumped in the pool in 50 years. Like, people, like, for real, just getting their hair wet. And like, it was a really powerful moment. And then she ends up basically telling him that she can't marry him or whatever. And so then when we see her at the end of the movie, she's kind of like coming to herself. She knows who she is now, and she's advertising for I think his name was Will, and she's telling him like she's trying to advertise his natural hair products. And they're like selling, she's like, it's a market. And the guy's like, why would I sell something that undercuts the product I'm already selling? Because he's into relaxers and weaves and all that stuff. And she was like, look, when people went healthy, the grocery stores adapted and kept their customers. That's what you need to do. Like, everybody's not going to be natural, but you need to keep your customers, because there's a lot of people, it's already happening. People are going natural, whatever. And so she got them to pick up his natural hair products. And so and in the end, he's kind of like, I'm still kind of salty about the way you treated me or whatever, but I want to see if something's there. And she's like, you know what? We can do that, but we're going to have to, go slow. And it kind of ends there, which I was kind of mad about because I wanted an end game, like I wanted to know. But I kind of feel like they do end up getting together and things, because they were pretty good together. Like, he had this oil mix, girl, and he like kind of rubbed it on her hair and massaged it into her scalp. Jesus. Amen. Hallelujah. Anyway, so we're gonna just end it right there. That was the movie, guys. I loved it. I had a great time. The only thing is, I kind of felt like I felt like this movie should have came out like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That was the only thing. But I loved it. It was great.
Awesome.
Okay. I feel like, woo. Okay. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know if you watched it, if you liked it, if you, if you felt like it was after its time or whatever. I don't know. I could be wrong. Any of those things. Thanks for watching and have a great night. Bye.